Good morning, brethren. I was asked a few weeks ago to give a special, and so this is just a little special. Lord willing, before the sermon, before Pastor Ed comes and gives us the message that God has for us. What you have is you've been given a piece of paper. You have been given a piece of paper. You have a white piece of paper. And we're going to use that for illustration purposes. In Proverbs 20:27, it says, "The spirit of man is the candle of the Lord, searching all the inward parts of the belly." And would you know that in 1 Peter 2:2, it says, "As newborn babes, desire," notice that word desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. My thoughts this week were of a conversion, of being converted and being born again. Being born again. In Matthew 6:22, "The light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. But if thine eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness?" And that's a sad thing to think about, that you may think that you have light, but it's a dark light. Now, in the piece of paper that you've been given, when you are converted, you're born again, are you not as this white piece of paper? Before, you were maybe like a newspaper article that had all sorts of words and maybe some blotches on it, and maybe some misprint, and maybe headlines, all over the place. Ads here and there, footnotes. But when you give up your life, then do you start out with what I would call a clean slate, brethren? A clean slate. Now, so my thoughts were, and I've got another tool here at my disposal on the old trusty belt. It's they call it a tactical light, but it's a flashlight. So when we allow that light to start coming through, notice that. Notice that. Isn't it? If you notice your piece of paper, it should be fairly well white and without blemish. Because you have new pieces of paper. And so when he lights you up, and this is Hebrews 10:32, "But call to remembrance the former days, in which, after ye were illuminated, ye endured a great fight of afflictions." Well, that's an amazing thing. The pureness and the righteousness that comes from the Almighty from up above is enmity with this world. So you will fight, because the world will try to come at you. Every which way will try to come at you, brethren. And that's what I put next here. But watch out, brethren. Many, many, many will come at you to write the ways of the world upon you. You're this new clean slate. But the world wants to try to write its ways upon you. And that should not be. That they may have some say in your new makeup, what you're made of, and influence upon you. And I wrote down here on my notes, and that's what cancer does: leaven, weeds, tears, blots and blemishes, stumblings and fallings. It grows. The cancer does grow, and it can thrive if it's been allowed to, and the weeds can thrive if they've been allowed to. And why? Is it to perhaps enjoy the power to influence or control another vessel? That's an amazing thing. Humans controlling other humans. You might have a seemingly philosophical discussion with a colleague at work. She might say, "Oh, we're just in the break room having a philosophical discussion, and you're such a spiritual giant," and you put on the brakes and you say, "Whoa, whoa, whoa." And you tell that person, quickly tell them, no way, no. You make mention of a pastor at Shawnee that spoke of a sermon. He called it The Tallest Tree. Jesus Christ, how tall is your tree? And you deflect that, brethren, so quickly, so swiftly, that they're not looking upon you. You point it up to Christ. And that's wonderful. It just shifts that. Take the focus off yourself. And you have to do that. So we deflect all those accolades straight up to the cross. Straight up. And up. I had to put that up. U-P, capitalized with an exclamation. Brethren, he was upon the cross, not me. Not any of us. Someone may say, well, you just have to have faith. You have to have your faith. And you immediately stop and say, no. It's the faith of Jesus, his faith. And they may say, well, they like that. So, brethren, as we go through life with a new clean slate, as in Hebrews 10:35, cast not away, therefore, your confidence, which hath great recompense of reward. Light behind the paper. That's my note here. Light behind the paper. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. That's something. And the very God of peace sanctify you wholly. Holy. And I pray, God, your whole spirit and soul and body be preserved blameless unto the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ. We spoke of the marriage supper of the Lamb this morning in Sabbath school lesson. Brethren, we have to believe this promise. In Psalms 48:14, he will be our guide unto death. He will be our guide. So thank you, brethren. At this time, we'll ask Pastor Ed to come give the message that God has for us.